Let's jump into this first story. We've got this from Vanity Fair. Donald Trump is now facing, wait for it, 136 years in prison. Now, for those that are tuning into the live show, in about 10 minutes, Trump will be delivering remarks. We have that stream ready to go. I'm going to move it out of the way so we can monitor that and get ready for Donald Trump's statement. In the meantime, here's the story from Vanity Fair. Oh, and you know they're loving this. They write, as you've no doubt heard by now, Donald Trump was charged on Tuesday with an astonishing 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Now, here's the thing. It's the same thing. They charged him 34 times for the same thing. As Maggie Haberman reported, not only did the ex-president look very unhappy as he walked into the courtroom, but he appeared as angry as he did after the Access Hollywood tape went public in October 2016. Why might Trump not have cartwheeled into the courtroom with a huge grin on his face, snapping his fingers and blowing air kisses to the cameras? For one thing, Tuesday marked what was effectively the first time he'd ever been truly held accountable for anything in his life. For another, he's facing more than 100 years in prison. 34 Class E felonies, 136 years in prison, which is an incredibly huge number. Now, my question for this ridiculous article and for these people is, are they happy that a misdemeanor bookkeeping error is going to result in 2 life terms? They don't care. CNN ran a poll. And they asked, do you believe this was politically motivated? Almost everyone said yes. Like 80% said yes. They said, do you think it's a good thing? And they said yes.
They don't care.
Democrats, mostly Democrats, said it was good. That for political reasons.
Two-thirds.
Two-thirds.
Two-thirds of of respondents, because I don't know the details of the poll, but 2/3 of the respondents to that poll believe something that is antithetical to all liberal principles. It is wrong to use the government to go after your political opponents because they are your political opponents, right? That is straight up stuff that happens in banana republics. And the reason that these countries are banana republics is because of the organization of their government. They are illiberal. They try to do things like give everything to everybody.
Well, hold on.
But they believe.
I got to interrupt you.
Okay.
Banana Republic, you know where it comes from, right?
Go ahead.
It comes from when, what was it, Nicaragua, I think it was? Or which country?
I don't know the
United States.
Dole went
because of the Dole, yeah, the
right.
Yeah,
it's the U.S.'s corporate intervention. Yeah, but I'm being a bit pedantic.
Yeah, we understand. Usually,
Honduras and Costa Rica.
Yeah, there you go, Honduras and Costa Rica.
Usually, they are because they have illiberal policies, and even the type of corporate and government collusion that is also illiberal. But point taken. Yes, to call them banana republics.
But when they think he's literally Hitler, they've been told over and over again, you would do absolutely anything to destroy literally Hitler, and that's what they think he is, so they're fine with it. It doesn't matter what our Constitution says. It doesn't matter what our justice system looks like. It doesn't matter if it has negative consequences for even people on their side going forward.
It doesn't.
Do you guys think, we talked about this a moment ago before the show started, but I want to ask now for everybody listening, do you think this is the biggest story of our generation?
It's
100%.
possible.
9/11, we might be I think I'm in a generation different, slight from you. Like I was the end of X, you're the beginning of the next one. So for me, it was 9/11. 9/11, because it was we still didn't know. It was like 3 years that we didn't understand 9/11, which made it much worse. This, at least we have light on it right now.
9/11 was catastrophic, but it brought the country more together. This is, for our generation, something that is the most divisive in our country
There's
ever.
an argument to be made that 9/11 is what set all of this in motion. So 9/11, the United States, the response the United States has to 9/11, where the U.S. really clamps down on data and information and stuff like that and spying, and really violates the Constitution. I think that there's an argument to be made that 9/11 changed America so much that made this moment possible. But at the same time, it is reasonable to say that the clear political attack on the president by putting your political opponent in jail, that is a watershed moment. That is without question, if it's not the most impactful, and I think it remains to be seen whether or not it will be. If it's not, it's definitely among the top 2 or 3.
Would you say? Oh, sorry. Would you say that it's coordinated? Like Bragg is like coordinating with the. We were talking about this earlier in like a Twitter space or whatever. But do you think it's coordinated? Like Bragg is working with the Democrat Party, or he's just like a rogue actor doing it just for himself because that's what he ran on and he wants to make a name for himself by.
The vibe I get is that it's coordinated or at least planned, or that it's because I was rewatching the debates between Hillary and Donald again. Like I watched it a little before, and there's a whole thing of she's talking, glad you're not in charge of the law, and he's like, because you'd be in jail. Ha ha ha. Then another segment, they're debating, and Donald's like, I didn't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it. When I get into power, I'm gonna have a special prosecutor look into your emails. Like he was totally telling her on stage, I'm gonna go after you and investigate you when I become president. So like he opened the gates to this.
Well, he didn't do it though.
He didn't do it.
And we should now. I mean, there should be.
He should have done it.
He should have.
He should have. 100%.
I don't know. I think the precedent's bad. Whoever does it,
he should have, because he should have done it as an attack on the bureaucamacy. It's not because the Secretary of State is a bureaucratic position, right? So Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State. That's when she amassed the story goes that's when she amassed.
He chickened out.
Yeah, he did.
He got in, and then he's like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. And then behind closed doors, they were sitting there saying to themselves, we have to crush him. Yep. In any way possible.
Yeah, he humiliated her so hard on the stage.
They tweeted that, the day he got inaugurated, they were going to impeach him.
100%.
The lawyer who was involved in the first impeachment tweeted at him, we will impeach you.
Yep.
They had been working nonstop to make up a reason to go after him. And now that he's running again, and they know he's doing well in the polls, this is what they do, 136 years in prison.
I think they would have done this regardless of how he was doing in the polls, to be honest with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I think that this is punishment. I think that this is punishment from the establishment to punishing Donald Trump and the January 6th. There's the same thing. The reason that they sat in jail for trespassing charges, unprecedented treatment for trespassing and the like, is because of it is the government punishing people that would challenge their authority, even if you would ostensibly use your own, use things that are, actions that are protected by the Constitution.
To get people used to that type of behavior and persecution and to scare them. Like, so, everybody was saying, don't go out and protest. It's a trap, feds, all that kind of thing. Well, that's exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to scare you and think that it was feds and that you needed to stay home and that if you did go out, it was going to go crazy and you were going to be arrested. And so effectively, they got what they wanted either way. Either you stay home and you don't do anything and you're safe, or you go out and that the government's going to be weaponized against you. And everybody, especially on the left, is okay with that.
Yeah.
These are all political litmus tests or population litmus tests to see how much the people will put up with.
Well, so I asked Charlie Kirk this the other day. I'll ask you, Lisa, do you think Trump gets convicted?
Yes. I'll tell you why. I mean, absolutely. We have this, first of all, the judge needs to recuse himself because of his daughter. But even if he doesn't, right?
Why because of his daughter? His
daughter is working for Kamala Harris. The judge's daughter is working with Kamala Harris. So he needs to recuse himself, clearly. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's what needs to be done. But I've actually been on trial. And my judge, I was in for a trade secrets case, and my judge specifically said, because you hyperlinked where the information was publicly available, you're not allowed, and instead of showing them screenshots of the actual websites, you're not allowed to tell the jury that at all. I'm like, well, it's a trade secrets case, and if it's public and I can show that it's public on the internet, then how can I not present that to the jury? He didn't like my attorney, but I mean, we still won, but I was not allowed to tell the jury that all this information was publicly available on websites. These, for motions in limine, which is what the jury's allowed to see, the judge can rule on almost anything not being presented to the jury as bias or whatever they want.
Yes, but let me add, you could literally show the jury a video recording of Michael Cohen smoking a cigar being like, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to falsely accuse Trump and get him locked up.
That's
and
the
then
second part.
And the jury is going to be like, I don't care. Trump goes to prison.
Agreed. So that was the second part. So even if you have one, righty on the jury pool, you have a judge that's already likely going to bias the information that he gives the jury, and then look where you're pulling from. So I know that they're trying to get it, the case transferred to Staten Island or something like that. They're going to put a motion in for that, a motion to dismiss. But we both know that this judge isn't going to approve any of that.
I have a desperate plea to the deep state and the shadow government listening. You guys, this is too much like Nazi Germany. The people screaming out about the communist liberal Democrats, just like the Nazis were screaming out about the communist liberal Democrats. People screaming out about the fake news. Like Goebbels was screaming out about the fake news. And then when they put Hitler in jail is when he became very radicalized. And you do not want to do that to someone that 40 million people are following right now.
Right now, there's like 3 deep state guys, and one guy's sitting there, and a single tear goes on his cheek, and he's like, "He's right, you guys. We got to call this off."
No,
it's not going to happen.
No way. I mean, it's a noble statement to make, but this is exactly what they want, and there are people that, given the opportunity, will put Donald Trump away for the rest of his life. There is no question.
But I do got to say, part of me is imagining this future where like it's 300 years and there's like a space station. And this teacher has got a bunch of little future kids, and she's walking up to a giant statue of Ian in the space colony orbital ship. And she's like, before the start of the Second Civil War, one person fought to keep this country united. And it was only after years of fighting did he finally reunite the country and save Earth. It's just like a big Ian wearing a purple blazer. Look at his face. He's like, oh, God.
I've been having visions. Put me in touch with the shadow government. There's a deep state that is like the administrative state, but then there's this is according to Alex Jones. I asked him the difference between the deep state and the shadow government. He said the shadow government's like a government that has its own military, its own everything existing beyond all countries that is there just in case there's a nuclear war. They'll keep continuity of government.
Yeah, it's called
Those
the
are
Enclave,
the people I'm talking to. Yeah, the Enclave. I want to get in touch with you guys, help you build Space Force, defend against drone swarms, make the world peace for real.
We believe you. You look very sincere.
So there's
repurpose the military-industrial complex to start building drone. We need to focus on drones and not blowing up humans. Sorry, Tim, what were you saying?
I was saying it's National Security Presidential Directive 51, I believe it was. The division games are based on this. That in the event of a catastrophic loss of human life or economic damage, the president can create a new government replacing the U.S. government. That's something that George W. Bush created. And it's never been tested, but it can never be tested. In the event that some catastrophic moment happens, maybe the dollar collapses or something, the economy, we're in a Great Depression, they'll just do it and no one will be able to challenge them. It's just it.
I imagine they're underground because it's for nuclear. Well, Alex said it was for nuclear war. If, like, the surface gets totaled, it's supposed to keep humanity going.
Well, not humanity, the government.
Yep.
U.S. government, yeah.
And henceforth, humanity, because it's the utilitarian view of...
Yeah, I mean, it is humanity is secondary.
Order will continue, I should say.
The humanity is... The fact that humanity continues is a byproduct of the government continuing. They want the government to continue. They need people, so that if they could have AI do it and like only a couple people, they would be fine with that.
I don't know if I brought this up on the show. I think we truly could repurpose our military-industrial complex, Boeing, Lockheed...
Who's we?
The people that run Lockheed. We could be like, okay, instead of building...
They don't want to.
...missiles to kill humans...
Their lives are better building
But
missiles.
think about the drone swarms that are coming, because we could start building drones and then take them out into space, arm them with like laser sensors, so they don't have weapons. They can just tag us with lasers and put onboard AI on these drones. They can swarm our pilots or our drones and tell us what we're doing wrong and how to get better at fighting drone swarms.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.